It's streaming time. Then I stream all over the place. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Master Fran Art Stream. I'm your host, Master Fran. This ain't a podcast, but I figured I should probably treat this as a stream show. For those who don't know, I'm Master Fran. I'm a artist and animator. This stream is a giant chronicle of me working on a bunch of different art projects, both personal and financial, for people who want to do stuff or anyone who taps them on the shoulder asking me for art. So hello and welcome to my stream, my Wednesday night stream. It's currently February 28th on a Wednesday night. It is much colder than it was yesterday, and it's bananas. But it is what it is with that. If it wasn't a leap year, February 28th would probably be the last day of the month. I believe tomorrow's the 29th or so. Now that's 29th. Tomorrow's the 29th of February, which is incredible. Well, it's not really that incredible. I mean, there's been a leap year last year, but things have been alright. How have I been? I've been doing okay. I got back from a convention thing this weekend, and I got a haircut real good. If you move the light here this way, you might barely notice that my hair is recolored. It's blue, and it doesn't really show that much because I want to do it looking like my tablecloth at conventions to kind of like have a bit of brand synergy. And I guess with the dark hair and the navy blue, it's not as, doesn't contrast with my hair. You can barely see the blue hair, really. But it is what it is. I've been pretty decent. Polar Vortex went pretty well. It was in the middle of the Chicago, like close to the lakeside, so parking was hell, of course, getting a parking space, but I managed to get there at a decent time, and it was an art show at a bar at Reggie's Bar in Chicago. I don't know the address specifically, but that's the bar name in case you want to visit Chicago, and it's right there. Oh yeah, it's got a bunch of hanging artwork too, a bunch of artists, local and probably, and I don't know who actually is local when hanging, but I've met a decent amount who also, if any of those artists are here watching the stream right now, hello, and welcome to me just chatting a little before I begin my stream here. But yeah, I mean, Polar Vortex went pretty well. I sold a decent amount of comics, and I badly want to make more comics. I feel so when I went to Polar Vortex, it was more artsy. Like there were more paintings and sculptures and I guess art as opposed to like comic art. And I guess for the beginning, I felt like I probably just didn't belong there. I mean, it's probably just my imposter syndrome speaking. But I was kind of feeling, I guess, not so hot. And I think maybe it's me underthinking my own skills as an artist. Like, I belong. It's, I'm an artist. I draw and create just like anyone else. And I do indeed belong in an art space where artists make art. And I guess for a bit, and this might be just maybe just general, just comic reading, getting everyone else's silly. I guess, comic room, or, comics isn't a real art. I've probably internalized that, probably just felt that just shame. And I'd say a lot of my life is just getting over that shame. Either feeling like I'm not a real artist, or I don't really do work that is me, or I'm not as far as I'd like to be. And a lot of those thoughts double and double as I get closer to my 32nd birthday, and that's this weekend. Well, actually, it's this Sunday. This Sunday, I'll be celebrating my birthday and kind of just doing some fun stuff with that. I ordered a new mattress, so I'm going to be placing that back. Will hurt a little less in the morning. So I'll be doing that. I'll get a cake. I'll probably have dinner with folks, that sort of thing. Oh yeah, it's kind of weird because it's like 32, it's still pretty young, but it's still 8 years from 40. And, you're not as chipper and dapper as you'd like to be. And it gets harder and harder to wake up in the morning. Where, you used to be able to, do all-nighters and you'd go to sleep at 1 in the morning, then wake up at 3 in the morning, just still full of energy. Flat out power nap. And right now I struggle to get up in the morning for work, which is why I tend to end these streams around 9 or so. But honestly, I'm not gonna fret it. Time waits for no person, and the only thing I can really do is just manage my time better, do better, make my time just a little bit more worthwhile, try to be more in the moment. And I've probably been feeling a little, I think I've been feeling a plateau art-wise, kind of. I mean, I'm tackling projects. I'm working on things. I'm working on animations, of course. This game animation thing, I should probably at least get to that. I got a game animation, it's working. I haven't worked on it since last week because I've been doing other art things. So I'm doing that, plus doing convention stuff to kind of just scrounge up money. Make a living. And it's, I'm making it work. And those are positives. I need to spin this positively. Make this feel positive, feel good type of stuff. And kind of just feel like you're making things work. And as suck as you feel, at least you're making stuff. At least you're making stuff actually work. And you're doing the little to make money. At least you're making money. At least I'm making money. I'm now just speaking with myself with this. I'm making money. I'm going to shows, and people have been starting to recognize me from various different art shows, going to different conventions. You're going all over the state of Illinois. And as you do all these shows, you tend to meet repeating people who recognize you from other shows. As there are a few who recognize me from Naperville Art Show and Aurora Alley Art Fest, and visits to C2E2, though I still haven't tabled at C2E2, but now there's also that, Anime Central, and is making those little bits of work help get my name out there. So that's a positive. I do need to think positively of this. So that's the basic gist of, I guess, my personal artwork. And a lot of, I think a lot of the other anxiousness, anxieties, or whatever you call, is me also trying out different stuff. I'm currently writing, as in probably just teaching myself to write. I like an actual narrative. And I'm currently keeping track of a, something resulting in a narrative. Like currently I'm working on the, I guess the core story of Black Mass, even though that's not a priority. I mean, we have the outline. Cole goes to an island, he encounters, he goes to the temple, finds the treasure, and then after he gets the treasure, he gets attacked by the bandits who steal the treasure from him, and Cole has to get it back. That's the outline, so I'm good when it comes to just the events, like the time-to-time set-piece events. Things like the outline and character interactions is still not as 100% as I'd like it. I'd like to have my own brand of humor with that. And a lot of that is just me exploring myself as a writer. And I think I've kind of just been scared to suck with most of this stuff, where I'm trying to, both learn the format of writing, but also try to see what do I like about a story that I want to do. Like, what I drew the characters, so why did I draw the characters? That's kind of like that sort of thing where I like their designs, but outside of tiny, I guess, stereotypes or archetypes, there aren't really core stories to these character designs. They're just cool character designs. And that's kind of the thing that I've been worried about, is I have cool character designs and that's all they really are. That's all they'll ever be. And kind of just coasting off the good art and not really memorable stories or a memorable characters with that. So that's a personal flaw that I care a lot about dealing with. And I want to do as well as I can through that and not be, give them some sleeves here. Or maybe it should be tail in the way. No. Why isn't in the way? I don't know. But yeah, I want to do better characters, of course. But I need to learn how to write. That's me kind of just getting over my own personal brand of, am I good? Am I a good writer? Am I doing this right for you? And not like thinking about what I like as a person who likes things, instead of appeasing to whatever permission gatekeepers that are, I guess, stopping me from achieving and seeing my destiny. And it probably would have worked better if it was just a bunch of flaps. That probably would have worked if it was just flaps or something. Because, let's see. his default is this, so try that, and then try to do this. Oh yeah, Ned is coming along. He's just, I'm working on just making exist, I'd say. I'm probably spending more time than I should on rolling animations, because the priority is actually shooting animations. So I really should at least grind on that. So got that. And I'll probably just work on this more instead, Joe. Let's just get that done. Oh. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, figuring this out is a lot of me just trying to make this as good of a game as possible. And I'm also writing more to just make a specific comic. So I'm also, as well as writing Black Mass itself, I'm also writing a comic where I found a comic that, it still has a premise that I want to work with, and I want to stick with it. I want to keep working on that. And the comic I'm working on is a goat cult, where goats will be trying to sacrifice someone. So the basic premise of this comic is Cole is a door-to-door knife salesman, and he finds a cabin in the middle of the woods. He's walking the woods. He needs cash while he's traveling around, and he encounters a cabin with hopes that he can sell his wares to whoever lives in the cabin. And inside that cabin is a circle of cultists, and they're in the middle of the sacrifice. So what does Cole do after that? And that's one of the things that I want to just do is, that sort of conflict. He starts out normal, and the weird bullshit happens. What does he do after that? So that's at least the plan, is to, just get him in that situation where he's doing his strange heroics, his strange brand of heroics, where Cole is clearly over his head. And he's basically encountering weird bullshit. That's a few of the things that I want to tackle is a new comic, because one, I do want to work on a new book. That has been probably just on my list of, I guess, inadequacies that I've been feeling, where I think that I'm not doing a lot of comic art. I'm starting to kind of like realize that I like comics more than I like, I guess, animation game development. And I think that's also my anxieties about the games industry in general. Hearing news of like else. It's kind of like, I'm an indie dev, I shouldn't care about this. But it's also one of those things where it's like, I feel like it's going to screw future. And I guess I'm just being a giant coward sometimes. Being a giant coward, and I don't even know what I'm what I truly, truly want. Hey Sean, how's it going? And long ass projects are anxiety inducing for sure. Oh yeah, because you're spending so much time working on a thing, and it's a giant gamble whether or not it'll actually work. So that's kind of one of those things that's, just, it pushes the pressure on. And yes, I've been working on Black Mass for years. I think it's now going on, I think, 4 years if I'm doing the math right, because I've been doing it since 2020. So yeah, 4 years. So it is probably like 3.5 years if you want to be real technical, because I think I started I started around June of 2020, and then the actual work with that. I'm gonna put the arm here. That should be, and then I can just make duplicates as I go. Oh, okay. I think I know here. And I've been tackling that and working on animations, and clearly I need a team because it's very likely that I'm just burning out. I'm burning out on a project that I can't guarantee will actually finish here. I mean, I can't guarantee it. What am I saying? Not like it's impossible to do, because, again, it's a platform. It's a demo of a platform. I think that's probably the kicker, is I'm spending a lot of time on what's basically a demo. And technically, we could probably just shoot this out right now, and people will be fine with it. Let's see. Okay, that's the correct. Like wondering. Okay. Do that. Put this here, then that'll work. Ah. Okay. Now, one thing about like doing these pixel arts is you find out little things that you didn't notice. That's good. Then the head reveal. Alright. I can probably just. It's still over here. Let's see. I can. Yeah, let me nudge you back. There we are. Nudge you. There we go. Nudge. Oh. Alright. So yeah. It's a difficult task to do. And yeah, I'm totally scared. I want to do easier, comfortable thing of just working on comics, being a private person, and not making waves. And obviously, that is me avoiding my, I guess, destiny with that. And that can be an issue where you're letting fear kind of just dictate your actions. Problem is, what is fear and what is, sensible advice? Because, I mean, yeah, I'm feeling scared, but I'm also like feeling sensible where am I just more interested in just working towards my strengths? Trying to try to like upgrade my weaknesses with that. And that's a tough call to make when you have a current thing going for you and you're trying to build it up. The Black Mist is almost demoable now. What's on this checklist for finishing that? So this boss character is the big one. Is making Nad the boss. And he is basically a Robot Master style boss where he has a lot of different moves and stuff like that. Hey Roke, how's it going? Yeah, I'm just talking about some my checklist stuff for my checklist stuff for the boss design. Yeah, hope your open mic night's gone well, Rogue. I'm sure it's been going well. But yeah, currently my big to-do list is this character. This character is the big notable addition, and I guess some like cutscene screenshots and stuff like that. Cutscene stuff. Other than that, on my end, just this cutscenes. Maybe readjust some tiles for the actual use, because I've been told that the tiles don't match at certain corners, so I need to dive in there and get that. And in terms of programming, Adam tells me that he's finished stealth stuff. I think it's mostly just tightening up AI stuff, artificial intelligence, like actual enemy behavior stuff, just to some drawing and things and all that stuff. But yeah, okay, this is interesting. The heads. Okay, I think I know what I could do here. Do this. Okay, one thing that's kind of like borking is how on earth you would tackle this. Get rid of the string. Maybe I'd redraw the. Because again, I want him to be able to like fire up and around. But then again, if Cole's gonna be on the ground most often, probably doesn't need up firing. Probably would need more down firing. So I'm actually gonna put a pause in this and focus on things like down shots, because that'll be a little bit more doable. Is do a down shot more. So I know this is kind of me being a bit shoddy with that, but I think I'll move the head up. Yeah. One thing that I'm getting better at is planning my efforts with not over animating and not working on too much useless, well, not useless, but unnecessary work. So one thing that I blew a lot of time on with the bear is that I spent too much time working on over animating the bear, making the bear have good animation, as opposed to appropriately animation that's correct to both the pixel and your time. And as a artist, you tend to be like, okay, it's got to be perfect. But as a developer, you kind of can't do that, right? Like, you gotta work with what you got when you got it. I think one thing that's probably also kind of like messing around with me is that I don't really have a legit deadline. I'm sort of going on my own schedule with this. So I am making this work mostly because I decided to, one, put an actual hard limit on how many frames I'm putting in like each animation. Like one thing that I got a short critique telling me, hey, you keep over animating and you're blowing a lot of time on things. You don't have to animate. And they're right. I'm making a 8-bit animation. I don't have to put in like a bazillion things of animation because this is supposed to be a retro game. I'm not supposed to spend so much time on something that's supposed to be reminiscent of old school retro portable games. Trying to be more like lawyer friendly these days. I don't know when the ninjas will attack. And I'm doing my best to not be as maybe self-indulgent, if that could be a word for that, where I'm constantly I'm doing animation for the sake of animation instead of making it effective to the needs of what we need to get done. That'll work better. Push you up. I like add this more so that works better. Okay. Alrighty then. I could probably just add the eyes here. They like flatten it down here. So I know where firing. Also, the muzzle would be a lighter color. The initial muzzling is okay. But yeah, a lot of it is do you implement the key pose in the game first and feel out the timings, hitboxes and stuff? Kind of, sorta. So Adam works with the animations I hand to him, and the hope is that I will readjust the animation timings in Unity. He'll give me the Unity file that he works with, and then I'll readjust the animation timings, from like my preferences as Adam will just incorporate the frames, but he doesn't really have the timing down as I would like have it. So I'm going to work that out, and if it feels good for the game itself, I'll also readjust it as it sees fit, or as fit and stuff like that. So a lot of it is just me have the frames out, me submitting it to him, and we'll figure it out as we test it. So that's at least the plan that Adams proposed to me, where I just where I submit my animations to him, he gets it in, and then we test it out at the later time and figure out what will work and what doesn't work. That'll work. Sorta. And of course, we're not perfect about this. We're trying to do something that neither of us have truly done before. Like, Adam has not really made an action game, assume. Like, he's probably has made action games. I don't know a lot of his programming knowledge. I'm mostly like trusting him on a lot of stuff as he's trusting me on what I'm capable of doing. Like, a lot of my animations that I submit to him are also just my personal pitches of what would be cool for Black Mass as a stealth game and cool stuff that I would like to see in the game. Because at the end of the day, it's a game that I'm interested in making. I guess a big thing that all the game designer people keep mentioning is make the game that you want to make. And you'll figure out how to make it as you go. And I don't know how good advice it is, but it sounds pretty good. Alright, let's see. Weapons. Alright. All that's left is to get this out here. I pretty much have most of the down animations, just the tails left. They rework the location. They like copy you, delete, paste. There we are. And then I would rework. I would adjust the body as it goes, just so it looks cohesive to the arm and stuff like that. That way it'll look like it's a weird freak mutant sprite, and I'm not truly adhering to the original Game Boy's hardware limits of, oh, it's got to be a certain amount of dot matrices, because I think from looking at my grid, and I could probably like pop up my grid right now, there's a lot of corner pixels that are kind of just there and not being used. And I guess that's probably just a factor of, because I'm using Unity, I'm not limited to what Unity does. You know, whatever. I'm not limited to the Game Boy hardware proper. It's basically just me animating sprites, and it's this, I guess, a simulacrum of yeah, that's probably the proper term, just a simulacrum of animating the frames of a game. Not a Unity game, but a Game Boy game. It's a simulacrum. That explains it a little better. Because it's not an actual game, but it's not an actual Game Boy game, but it's inspired by Game Boy. Like, I'm interested in setting up the story so they're good in short bursts. Or at least that's my hope for the game. Is it's nice and small, it's short, we aren't blowing a shitload of time working on heavy stuff. Like, we don't want to make a crazy open world RPG. It's a fantasy game. And at least the hope is that we're not making an RPG. Adam did mention stuff about having like stats and elements, but I'm hoping he's just talking about variables and the numbers behind it, not specifically leveling system. Because I mean, if he can do it quickly, that's on him. I'm not gonna stop him if he feels like he's able to do it. It's just that's a possible way to feature creep. So I'd like to not go crazy about features. And that's also the reason why I don't update the Black Mass website or the Twitter account, because I don't actually have the full birth of what's the features actually in the game. We have a rough design idea and we're going with it, and it's still not any playable. People have it in their hands and they're able to say, okay, this is totally flowing, and it's not a it's not a mess. So okay, let's copy you, delete, paste. Probably should just make the arm separate, but I feel like if it's an arrow, okay, get rid of the ghost, kind of rotating. All right, I think I know what I need. This. All right. All right, that's looking less wobbly. That's good. Well, that's looking much less wobbly. And I'll polish you later. But now I'd say I'd get the diagonal done, and that should be the next thing I do, is get a diagonal done, and that should be good. Side one is probably could polish that. I think I'll let go of this, or at least not dive into the upshots. Maybe, yeah, I think it'd be better if I have his air shots be horizontal down. And then when he's on the ground, he can be horizontal up. And that would save animation and design stuff. Because it would make sense. If if Nad is trying to attack Cole from the air, like, he's doing the jumping around stuff, I don't anticipate Cole being able to jump over Nad specific. Like, we this is something I need to speak with Adam more often about, because right now I'm currently just making basic jump, walk, shoot controls like a Robot Master. Like, basically, I'm copying the action list of this, where he has a basic idle, able to move, he's able to jump, he's able to attack, and those are the core moves he's able to. But I have like extra bells and whistles with that. So that's what I'll be first submitting to Adam, and then we'll dive deeper and have some more meetings about what his bigger design should be, like what he should, what's the little bits of sauce that can kind of like push him from a basic boss to someone fun. Like, I have wanted to have him have trick arrows, and I want to, he has the ability to roll away from attacks, or probably roll into Cole. Probably like use his weight to roll into Cole. And if there are walls, he probably could wall bounce, or like be able to bounce like a ball, perhaps. It's kind of weird because he should be, obviously he should be like easy. So we don't want to stuff in so many moves that would completely just wreck the player. Because, yeah, like it's that weird like line between give him a shitload of moves, so it's challenging to like making him complete random. Like I don't want to completely overwhelm the player with just random bits of stuff. But yeah, the roll, give him the ability to roll away as a tail attack to get the player to get off of him. The player isn't able to just sit in front of him and wail on him because he'll retaliate with his tail attack. Like he has his tail shield. He's able to block attacks and block projectiles. So you have to figure out a way to catch him vulnerable. And then once he's vulnerable and you've got him stunned and stuff like that, he'll use the tail attack to knock you back to make you just get the distance and restart. I guess in fighting game terms, neutral. Go back to neutral and restart his pattern and stuff like that. That's my game plan. I'd have to discuss this more with Adam, but that's my own. I think at this point I've kind of just realized I'm probably the director. I don't know. I'm kind of like going on this. This is what I'd do if I was making basically an action game. Where, okay, you have a boss fight. These are his moves. These are the patterns that you need to recognize. So that's me. That's I like, and Adam also likes bosses with actual patterns instead of you wail on him several different times and wait three times for him to be vulnerable, then you hit him. And like basic Mario bosses. So yeah, what am I doing right now? I am giving him down attack that's tightened up. Probably could get the tail down here. So let me see. Did I put a tail here? Doesn't look it. I don't think the tail's here. Alright. I'll copy you. Link. You're actually going to be going down. You're actually going to be going down. If I can rotate the damn thing. Okay. And this will just indicate that he is floating down here. That'll work. He shall float down, and you'll have cool secondary animation for him floating down. Of course, I do need to put the arrows in his tail because that was the part of his design that makes him a Ryan Francis design. Is I will do stuff that's not typical of, or at least it's not something that you're gonna see an elf have. Like an elf doesn't have a tail, they have a quiver, and he uses his tail as a quiver because he's an animal character. Like that's one thing that I do want to do with my animal characters is I want to set up my world and characters so you can't just simply be an elf. Like if an elf can do something that the animal characters can do, I don't think it's as exceptional for, I guess, my fantasy world building as I'd like for it. Like I want to take as much advantage of the wacky animalness of the world of Black Mask. It's really the world of Amalgria or at least that's the rough name of what I want to name that planet, I guess. I was like a giant amalgam of everything. So I'm probably just gonna call the world of Black Mass, because why the heck not? But then again, Runeterra is just as dumb of it. So, I mean, what am I thinking? Most fantasy names are dumb as shit. So, you know, why am I so stuck up on names? Because most fantasy names are dumb. And I'm trying to cover up for the fact that Animalgria. It should actually be Amalgaia or something like that. Because it's spelled amalgam, so A-M-L gum. Like, you know, it's the sum of all things, amalgam. Amalgamation. And then Gaia, as in, what's it, Latin for Earth or wherever it is. But since it's tough to pronounce, I would probably just, probably will scrap that name because it's just so tough to remember and pronounce. But it is a name that is completely different, or at least it's different looking, different sounding. Amalgaia. Animalgaia. Animalgaia. Gaia. Huh. When you look up Animalgaia on Google, it comes up with a website called Shapeshifter. Uncover your inner power animal. Now, I'm just gonna go on a wacky distraction thing. Alright, here we go. Take your meditations. Yeah. Let's see. Elevate your meditation practice with new minded immersive journey workshops. Learn more. Emotional integration group session, January 25th. I did it freaking. Amalgria is a reasonable fantasy world name. That's good to know. I guess I'm just asking other people's permission for my stuff to just do stuff. Shapeshifter, uncover your inner power animal. Experience profound connection with nature and self indulge in our unique shape-shifting meditation. This practice goes beyond merely assuming characteristics of an animal. It is a journey of aligning with energetic frequency of any living entity, be it a plant, animal, or rock. Is this some... This is a Therian, isn't it? Probably isn't. Embracing this method gives you the opportunity to step outside yourself and view the world for you differently, with your belief in your own capability to change forms being the only limit. Well, that's kind of limited then. The ability to change forms. But maybe there's like more to this. Amalgaia. Yeah, I said Amalgaia. Bria was me like pronouncing it wrong, but it should be Amalgaia. So Amalgam and Gaia, that's the name of it. So amalgamation plus Gaia. Alright, see you, Sean. I'm going to read more about shape-shifting meditation because this is something that I didn't even realize. This mystic meditation takes you to the mystic lower world, a realm imbued with earthiness. I've never heard that word before. And quintessence of with earthiness and the quintessence of the natural world. This meditation takes you to the mystic lower world, a realm imbued with earthiness and the quintessence of the natural world. Okay. Guided by your power animal, you learn to open your heart center, Shed your human ego and set clear intentions. All right. This would probably be safer than weed, I suppose. Yeah, this is some, real hippie stuff, I suppose. I'm always skeptical of spiritualism with a lot of these things where, you're kind of like, you don't know where if it's a scam or not. Explore the vibrant, otherworldly landscape from perspective, deepen your understanding of the interwoven tapestry of. This meditation is perfect for those seeking a deepened connection with nature and the inner self. It is ideal for individuals open to transformative experiences, wishing to expand their perceptual horizons, explore the spiritual practice of shapeshifting. These immersive guided journeys are layered with sound, music, and voice. To get the most out of the experience, please wear headphones. Alright, so a lot of this is a giant meditation app. I'll assume there's like binaural audio and stuff like that. $6.95 for nearly 45 minutes. Over 45 minutes of, I guess, meditation. That'd be a work day. If it's just meditation, I will assume that this probably ain't harmful. I don't know. I'm in a weird spot where I'm like distracting myself because I don't want to work hard right now. But yeah, what am I doing? But yes, long story short, the fantasy world name is Amal Gaia, and I want to call it that because that's the planet's name. Because calling it just the world, the black mass, makes it sound like Cole's the center of the universe, which is incorrect and completely antithetical to what I want to do with Cole, and that is him being a wacky goblin person who's almost nobody. Like he's pretty much a POV character for this fun little world, and he's able to fight, that kind of thing. You know how like Motoko Kusanagi is, she's a cool fighter. You don't get a lot of personality from her because the world is supposed to outshine her. That's kind of what I feel from that. And of course, that's mostly like me, like thinking about just standalone complex. I actually don't remember the movie that much, but I remember watching Standalone Complex, and that's kind of just the feeling I got from the anime is, it's a cool world, but, the characters aren't exactly, interesting. Or at least, you're not getting a lot from the characters, but you're more like seeing the more like episodic film noir day-to-day things of the city itself. So that's kind of why I like Ghost in the Shell. It's kind of like X-Files in a way, where you don't really give a crap about Mulder's sister because you just want to watch him fight Bigfoot. And that's kind of like one of those things where it's okay to just have a basic archetypical character with that, where you're kind of just a dude watching conspiracy theories, like the Monster of the Week stuff. A lot of people tend to just not like Monster of the Week stuff, or I guess I don't know, but let's unlink you, and then we're just going to unlinking you because you're just going to have a wider belly down. I see now. Alas, I truly see. Yeah, I'm kind of like trying to see. See where I'm missing. So I can just get that down. So far, so good with that. It's literally me kind of just looking at just looking at this to kind of see what's what. Alright. I'm good. I probably should take a break, or at least refill my water. But at least I'm working a little smarter than last time. Like last time I spent too much time on this bear animation. And this time I'm at least doing better to not be completely swamped with slightly unnecessary work. Oop. Okay. Put here, put. That'll work. I can make this work. I'm a smart cookie. I am running into a bit of a issue when it comes to, I guess, keeping the body down here. I like move down here now. Copy you here. All right. I'm making tracks. Oh yeah, that's the string. Go. Got it. I'm gonna steal this. Boom. Yes, that's looking much more convincing. All right. Better. Better. It's getting better. So let's save, because I haven't saved yet. You know what? Let's take maybe 10 minutes or so. I'm gonna stand up, get some more water, and I'll BRB. And we're back. Welcome to the back to the Master Brain Art stream. We're gonna get ready to tackle some future stuff here. So, I'd say next on my work on stuff list is working on the diagonal lines here. So that's what we're gonna be here. And one thing that royally sucks about working on a diagonal thing is that, you know, when you rotate it, it's very chunked. Of course, you know, there's a bunch of missing stuff with this, but I'm gonna let that go for now until the final submission. Okay. I think I'll just leave the body for now with the weapon. Let's see. Look at this. So it is a legit, like, perfect circle-ish. Because, you know, the point of it is easy diagonals, so there's no confusion as to what this should be. And it's also just fairly difficult to really plan this to something satisfying because diagonals are probably just the hardest aspect of pixel art to me personally. I'm sure other pixel artists probably have, you know, the same amount of difficulty. I'd say that's probably the chief thing that does hang me up when it comes to doing pixel art sometimes is all the diagonal lines I need to do. So hopefully this will okay. I keep hunching. And as I go, doing these diagonals, you know, I can never remember that like step process when it comes to, you know, how you do pixel diagonals really, because it's always one of those things where I kind of sort of remember, but I keep forgetting. Because there's like, you know, a stair step method where you go 2 pixels down and 2 pixels down. And then when you're making the turn, you'll gradually go, like you'll go, so if you want to go from here to here, you'll go 2 pixels, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 3 pixels, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, and then 1, another 1, and then start doing 2 down, then another 2. And it mostly depends on how gradual you want your turn. You would likely need another 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4. I've gone over the curve completely, but that's the gist of how to do clean curves is kind of have to have this stair step method where you need to well, I don't truly count pixels. I just go off visuals and vibes, and you can work with that. There's no hard and fast rule doing pixel art that I found. Like, and pixel art in, I guess, every tutorial on improving pixel art that I've ever found is pretty straightforward as to do what you need to do to make this game look, or make this pixel art look effective. And obviously I don't need to worry about pixel count or color count, since we have modern screens and computers and stuff like that. But the art of pixel art is also the art of working with those limits, of course. So that's why I'm still interested in upholding that, is because I'll just let that go. I'll just make you dark. That'll work. That's sort of working. I am slowly and steadily kind of just losing my ability to determine, and maybe it's because I'm getting too close to working on this. As you work on it, you're so close to all the weird foibles of what what it's about. Okay. Looks better. At least looks good enough. I'll kind of like let this go as a... That'll work. That'll work. I could probably rework the body as something rounder. Looks better. Have I screwed myself? No, I haven't. Fantastic. Fantastic. Alright. This is looking clean as I go, so that's good, that's good. Alright. Weapon. I think I'm probably just gonna just copy this. Yeah, I'll just copy you and then rework you as its own thing. There we are. Streets of Rage soundtrack. So I will nudge this forward. Up. Because I want it to be a 2-pixel sort of nudge. Boom. Move you down. Boom. I done goofed. Because I made a tangent here. Haha, tangent's over. Even though it's still a tangent. It's kind of tough to not do tangents in pixel art. Because, you're still just working with dots. And overlapping lines is always just one of those things where you're doing lines over or under, and there's not really a way to do in between. And I can sort of see this in a actual professional. This came out in the game sprites where they have no choice but to tangent. So But at least feeling good about that, since you're not really paying attention to the tiny pixel art to him. Yeah. Okay. Link. Move forward. Move it down. I think I can nudge it down just a wee bit more. All right. Good. Yeah, this could be a little smaller with that. I think we'll just nudge you back. Why do I keep saying I think? That's a profound lack of confidence, where I keep thinking about stuff instead of doing it. You know what I mean? I keep thinking and searching for approval instead of facing my destiny. I keep having these personal question asking tasks instead of just doing what I set out to do. And I think I keep people pleasing all the time, where I'm constantly asking other people for permission to do something interesting instead of just doing the damn thing and not wasting my time waiting for other people to tell me that I am worth doing. All right. Okay. Right. Okay. You okay. I think I can let you go for now. Of course, you let go here. And I'll probably just work this out here. That'll work better. Oh, I keep forgetting that it's not a legit fill. It's, you're in so many different layers. Ugh. But so far, so good with this. Ugh. Tomorrow I have an early day where I will be off work earlier due to school being off earlier. So I have a little bit more opportunity to update logistical stuff, web page stuff, blog posts. I've been neglecting the Black Mass website forever, and I think the big thing that's been hindering me is that the mailing list is having errors where it doesn't have a landing page anymore. And for, I'd say, the past few months, I've been trying to figure out why it doesn't have a landing page, like how to disconnect and all that, figuring that stuff out. And I am constantly just frustrated with technology when it comes to figuring out, okay, what is the thing I need to be doing right now? And it's a giant pain in the keister dealing with tech problems when you'd rather be drawing. And I'm sure if I ask someone, they could at least help me out. Thing is, I have no idea what question I need to ask for this specific problem. Well, actually, I probably would be able to get away with describing it, since I know the problem is WordPress, or at least MailChimp used to have a landing page for my mailing list, and now it doesn't. Why is that? So that's at least a start of what I need to do for the mailing list, which is why I haven't really been promoting the mailing list as much, because it doesn't work. That kind of sucks royally, because obviously I want to step away from social media. Social media is a pain in the ass to deal with. It just wastes my time a lot, because I should be working on animating instead of babysitting my crap ass social media, because I have actual shit to do in my life instead of babysitting the Twitter timeline. I mean, obviously it's not I'm not on a deadline. Like, I'll update it when I'm ready. It's constantly on my mind. Alright. I think I might be able to let this go then. Alright. I will let you go. Good. 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 Let the hate flow through you. At least I'm getting better with this. Alright. Alright, trick arrow. I need to make sure of is Because it needs to be out just enough so you can tell, hey, this arrow's out right now. You should watch it. It's always a tricky deal to do diagonals. Unless you do it by hand, of course. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just going silent at the moment because I'm just concentrating on just making this arrow better. Sorry about that. Actually, what am I apologizing? I'm not really apologizing for anything. I'm kind of just working and pondering just like any other person. That's how you do it, is you make it work for you. Okay. You go here. Actually, I do need, the silhouette to be far enough out so you can tell, hey, this is an archer and it doesn't blend into Nad's hand. All right. Nearly done getting this together. Got me. This is supposed to be the non-trick arrow here. This is supposed to be the arrow that is supposed to be smaller and not the big leaf arrow here. I'll go a little further. Yeah, that should be more than enough. That'll be a nice, cleanish diagonal. It's not perfect. The hope is that it'll at least be indicating of a diagonal shot. That's the hope. I accidentally put stuff here. Alright, nearly done with the diagonal shot. Sorry. Even when I think I don't have coughing down, there's still coughing to do. Luckily, I still have some cough drops left from last week. Hopefully I don't need to cough more because today has been freezing somehow. Because yesterday it was totally fine. It was legit spring weather. But then today it is back to below 30. And that is just how that goes. Alright. Get the head down. Let's copy. Yeah, you just small enough. I know why I don't just make this more. Okay. This is looking better. The tail went easier than I thought. I also realized I wanted to give him rounder ears as opposed to Cole's sharp ears. There we are. Would have raided, but it seems you disallowed it. Oh, is that why the problem? Oh, crap. I didn't even realize I disabled raiding. Oh, then. That probably ruined a bunch of opportunities that people probably could have raided my channel and I wouldn't even have known. You know what? I'll adjust it next time. Next stream, I'll allow raids. But right now, I just want to get this basic diagonal thing done. Because right now, I need to get the basics of his hair down. I don't even know how I decide on his hair, honestly. Certainly the initial concept art was like basic, sharp. It's supposed to be more of a messy thing than a specific faux hawk thing. Because let me look at his original concept art here. Like, let me see. Yeah, because his initial concept art kind of just had this, I guess, weird, faux hawk or something like that. And that was mostly just me kind of just figuring out a way to differentiate him from Cole. You know, because I think one thing that's difficult to do when it comes to animal proportions and animal faces is to make them look distinct from each other. Like, what would happen if I had to put Cole with another raccoon and like other similar looking animals? And I have done sketches of like, okay, what's a normal raccoon, like a normal civilian raccoon look like next to Cole. So that's kind of just one of those things that I'm trying to figure that out with that. Differentiate by two things, rule of thumb. Yes, I understand the difference. I'm a smart lad. But yeah, that's the gist of why he has silly hair that's difficult to pixel art, because I like making things hard on myself. And I'm cool for doing that. And let that out, and that should work. And then eyes here. Yeah, give them angry eyebrows, that'll work. There we are. I think it's a UI rule of thumb, but it kind of applies to any visual. Yeah, it does apply to any visual design, honestly. Like, if you can make sure that everything looks distinct regardless of color, you'll do well with visual design. Because, you know, there are colorblind people out there. And I was recently talked to by someone, you know, who liked Black Mass and was colorblind, and you know, he was excited about it because, yeah, it is a monochrome game, and I never really put together that, oh hey, non-people who don't see color like I do will also be able to play this game, because the way I design it doesn't require color to enjoy it. And that's both in my comic style and just this pixel art style. Like, my general comic style is mostly because I'm lazy and I don't want to color any of my artwork. So I design most of my characters without color in mind, because, you know, usually I don't have any of my coloring tools with me that I could really use. So I have to improvise. Okay, how can I make a cheetah and a jaguar and a leopard look like each other without color? Well, you would distinguish them by their spot pattern. So that's a whole host of issues. But luckily, leopards, cheetahs, and jaguars have a distinct enough spot patterns that you can do it. It's doable. It's just doing something like, you know, you kind of gotta look at that detail well enough and kind of just dive into, all right, these are jaguar spots. They're less spots and more little rings. Like, jaguars and leopards have little rings for spots. And cheetahs are the only cats that have, like, legit spots, like actual dots on them, as opposed to jaguars that have more little circles, and it has, like, tiny splotches of brown inside those circles. While leopards don't have those brown splotches inside, so that's how you're able to distinguish that. So, a lot of that stuff is mostly me learning more about animals as I go, because I want to draw them, and it gets easier the more you kind of like learn about the different types of animals. And you kind of feel like, oh wow, this is actually kind of cool, and you do learn new stuff about animals as you kind of just make those little deep dives where, oh, this is kind of wacky where it can do that. Or you'll end up learning about something that ends up being incorporated into its design and stuff like that. Or you'll know how to subvert that animal trait if it's a common animal in, like, fables or mythology and things like that. I think I'll leave it. Body should be good. I'll move the hair up. This is a little much, but I think I got this. Last game I was working on, I distinguished things that help you rounded green to blue from things that damage, angular orange to magenta, pulsating animation, because the game needs me to be maximally legible. Yeah, exactly. And that's also a thing with Splatoon. So if you played the game Splatoon, you'll know that they deliberately choose colors that contrast each other really hard. So it's either going to be bright orange and dark blue, or it's going to be bright red and what's the opposite of red? I'm not gonna say. Well, actually, no. It'd be like dark red and bright yellow or something, but something contrasting enough so that even colorblind people can be able to tell the difference between the different teams. Because the point of the game is you be able to see those different colors. And I don't know if they give you the choice of like choosing which colors you want. I think it just chooses it randomly, but if I remember hearing about like all the Splatoon news, it's automatically set up so the color combos are never similar enough that it'll be confusing. And that makes sense for Splatoon. TF2 is also another notable example where the team colors and the character designs are set up so that they're so easily legible from a distance, so you can immediately tell which class they are, what team they are, and which weapon they have out. And it's pretty nice with that. It is a masterclass in just design, like character design in general. Like I love the TF2 characters. Like I aspire to be able to do character designs that pretty much just do that. Is not just tell their stories, but you understand just how they work on a working level. Difficult to say yes to some of these like stray pixels here, because you don't want to make stray pixels all the time, but it does help make it look like it's pointed. So let's go. Yeah, well, this kind of works. Okay, then. Then we'll have the tail in. Let go. Let this tail up, because he is floating. I'll probably like readjust it so it's more of a floating tail than a. In fact, let's just do that while we're here. Kind of just do a basic floating tail. Do a super basic floating tail to kind of just indicate, hey, he is also just basically levitating. We're just going to incorporate that into everything. Oops. This is actually a special case where tail's actually going to be going down here. There we go here. Yeah, because technically he should be floating in the air, really, before he drops. Okay. That should work. If not, yeah, I'm making it work, I'd say. Of course, I can always tighten the size of it as I go. And I'll make it work. Okay. Now I can just quickly outline this. FX outline. Make you an outline. Readjust whatever jackies there are. That should be good. Okay. So far, so good with you. And then everything else, you're getting the arrows. Yes, I should redeem the stretch. Because this is practically, or at least I am practically done with his basically the core attacks for his air attacks, and then all that's left to do is figure out his down attacks. I probably don't know if I'll do a crouch attack. Maybe he doesn't know how to shoot down, so that'll at least give people a bit of cover where they can crouch. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I can get down at the moment. Nearly done. Front. Okay. Okay. Literally got that down. Alright. And then I'll probably just rework this so that you're a bit more interesting looking, I'd say. Okay. Okay. I'll copy this and paste it here so it's nice and copy pasted. Alright, let's at least add the arrows and then let it go. They're more sticks, so I think I can just make this work. That worked. Did this work? Okay. And go back to this is a tangent. Maybe I can move this someplace less tangible. Actually, this is the perfect spot because I can now copy V, rotate you forward, copy V, hit you again, and then readjust as I go. That'll work. Honestly, this is the best I got with that. Let's see, it's 4. B. Value with this. That should be good. That worked. Okay, so I have the most straightforward weapon then. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh, okay. I know what happened. X, V. There we go. Okay. That works. I probably could do something where like the tail's slightly going up and down. That. We'll incorporate that another time. I also realize the legs are actually incorrect. As they're supposed to be a strap and not an entire foot thing. Okay. Okay. Far so good. I feel like his head gets larger. But I think that's a lot of work for now. I could probably just wrap this stream. I've got a lot of important stuff done, I'd say. I've actually made significant strides. things have been much better, I'd say. Right. Oh yeah, you don't have a jump shot. Down. All the way down. Probably do need to add his belly button to bar down shot. I also realized that the tail's actually not the right one either. Ah, that's a problem. That is indeed a problem. Okay. Much better. I'm gonna just let it do. And then get rid of all incorrect instances of that layer. It should work. I know I'm doing it for this one, but you know, I never know if I'll need it. Yep, I'm about to wrap the stream myself, actually. So yeah, next week I'll either work on a game or I'll probably just continue on this. I haven't decided yet. I probably won't play another game. I wanted to do a pattern for like 1 week of playing a game, then 2 weeks of game development. But I think I'd rather just work on more game development. I'd rather just do more of that than try to fight my PC for the computer and stuff. But who knows? Maybe I'll do a thing for my birthday. Oh yeah, I'd say next week is, you know, a lot of different possibilities with this. You know, kind of grinding more on NAD here because I think I'm nearly. Well, actually, no. I've made a stride in his air attacks. I'll probably reorder that and probably delete his air attacks. Actually, I won't delete his air attacks because I never know I'll need like the actual up shots. So I'll either do the up shots when I'm not streaming, or whenever I just find some extra time. So anyway, I think I'm just gonna wrap the stream for now. I think the fact that I can't be raided means that I can't raid myself, so I think that's probably been my weird stream problem for the past, I guess, now month or so. Anywho, I'm wrapping the stream for now. This is Master Fan Art Stream here. We'll see you next week.